So Trump did end up coming in for the first time. An American president has a mugshot, but like I said in the video before, they wasn't gonna hold him. Like he was gonna post bail, be in and out, and that's what he did. But this is what he had to say after he went in there for 20 minutes and came out.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election. And I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others.
Only difference is they didn't try to force people to find votes, so-called, that weren't there. You know, it's legal ways to challenge an election, and it's illegal ways to challenge. Allegedly, you and everybody else in this RICO case chose the latter.
When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning.
And he has the nerve to talk about election interference after the many cases in which he has allegedly attempted to interfere with elections and keep people from voting how they want. Okay, man.
And this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Well, it seems that the laws in place say that you don't have the rights that you took to challenge the election. It seems that the path that you allegedly took would have been considered to be illegal, which is why a RICO case is being brought against you. But see it however you want to see it. I'm still surprised that there haven't been any charges brought up related to the January 6th incident, and where he hyped all these people up to go and ransack the Capitol. To me, that's still the most baffling part of this all. That ain't the focal point of him being arrested or the case being built upon that. But, you know, hey, this is a great entry point as well. But keep in mind, all these indictments are just allegations. Like, they still have to be proven in the court of law. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but this is just the first time that our president has ever had to take a mugshot related to indictments or allegations. Allegedly, it ain't the first time that a crime has been committed, but it's the first time that it got to this point. And unfortunately, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I think this is helping his campaign. Because I don't believe that they're actually going to arrest him. I don't believe, I just believe it's too easy. Like I'm watching my man Nino Brown, and he was going off as I kind of wanted to go off too, but I just calmed down before I made this video, because it's already what I thought it to be. But he was going off like, you know, Young Thug got hit with a RICO, and Gunna and them was hit with a RICO, and they all locked up, and they didn't come in and pop in for 20 minutes and pop back out. It's different, man. It's different. First we're talking about white and black. That makes all the difference in the world. I mean, then YSL and them shooting and killing each other in the street. You know what I'm saying? Trump and them crimes is different. They doing white collar crime. They allegedly finessing people out of money and votes and stuff like that. Some gangster stuff too, but it just ain't viewed the same in the eyes of the law. Especially because it's like white men normally do the white collar type of crime. Black men normally do the gangster type of crime where they shooting at each other. You know. Then we're talking about a president. This is what made me understand, after all that insurrection stuff and all that crazy stuff that happened, which would be considered terrorist type of actions, to storm the Capitol. After all of that, it still had to be like his party had to vote on if he was going to be charged or prosecuted. I don't remember how it all went, but I do remember that it had to be some type of voting process that had to go through them. And they had to agree with him being held accountable for the stuff that he did. They didn't agree, so he wasn't held accountable. So just me seeing that let me know that this was fairy tales. This wasn't gonna be nothing that was gonna actually happen. And I still don't believe it. I still don't believe he's gonna be locked up or held accountable for anything that he's did, for any lies that he told, for any way that he's operated outside of the law. There's been hints that him and Giuliani was allegedly taking payments to pardon people and all this stuff. A whole lot of stuff that could be brought up, but I ain't gonna believe it till I see it. And when you look at the evidence of just, what I already said, how he's gonna pop in and pop out, it just proves that I don't think anything is gonna come of it. I don't think they're actually gonna arrest him. He's actually gonna be charged, or maybe we'll see how the trial go, or if there's a trial. I don't know how the whole thing is gonna play out, but it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look like any fruitful action is gonna come of this. Like, she's pressing the issue, and she made him come in and take a mugshot. I believe that may be as far as it goes because of all the parameters set up around him that would allow him to scapegoat all this type of stuff or get past it or whatever. But I just don't believe it until I see it. Until they're like, oh, you're guilty of this charge, that charge, that charge, and that charge, and they lock him up, put him in a jumpsuit, and put him in jail, I don't believe it. I don't believe it's going to happen. And the crazy part about it is that I believe all this, the memes of his mugshot and all of that circulating on the internet, how he just gets on any platform and just blatantly lies. He chose not to go on the debate stage, but then he did an interview with Tucker Carlson, and that interview was going crazy. Kind of, I don't know the numbers, but I know it was rivaling that of the debate that was going on. So it's kind of like overshadowing that. I just think this is all going to help him in his re-election bid. Like, this is all helping by them trying to attack him, and it's not really working because you got the whole government that's kind of like fighting against him actually being locked up for silly things and illegal things that he's done. And so when the actual government is trying to keep him free when they know he's done wrong, but they is still trying to protect him, it seems to be working in his favor. I have no idea, after doing a lot of the things that he's done. Listen, I have no problem with him being as outrageous as he is and saying some of the stuff that he says, because I know there's outrageous people on the internet that think like this. So it doesn't surprise me. But then to cross the line and start actually doing illegal activity as a president, it baffles me, because I'm like, if Obama had taken part in any type of illegal anything, if he had geeked a bunch of black people up to go and rush the Capitol, like, there's no way you can convince me he wouldn't be under the jail already by now. You can't convince. So how they playing Trump, it just leads me to think it's just going to be a bunch of internet hype. A bunch of people are going to be entertained by it, along with his diehard supporters. You're going to have people that don't even really know that his best interests don't align with them, but because he's entertaining and because he's funny, and he took a funny mugshot picture, when the pandemic went on, so many black folk was calling this man Uncle Trump, because they were getting a check here and there, to sustain them through a terrible pandemic that we were all going through. And they called this man Uncle Trump because of that. But I'm like, did you not forget that when it was on the way, when it was creeping around the world and it was coming this way, he denounced it. He said it didn't exist. He just was like, oh, it's the China virus. Whatever he said to downplay it like it wasn't real, until it got here. And like, attempted to ravage the whole United States. Then it was like, oh, I messed up, my bad. Let's get the people a couple dollars. And from that, people was calling this dude Uncle Trump. And they continue to be entertained by him, by the funny way he responds. He's just being him. And it's funny to people. And they look at it like, oh, I like this guy. But I'm just going to go on record and say, I think all of this weird stuff that he's going through is probably going to help his campaign. And unless they actually lock him up, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's your boy P Camp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.